July 1989, Annapolis Royal Tidal Power Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. The water looks calm from above. Nothing moves, nothing warns you. But down below, something is already pulling. Luke Seabrook feels it first as a slight tug, just a small shift in the water. Then suddenly, it tightens. In 1 second, his body jerks forward. In the next, he's stuck. No matter how hard he pushes, he doesn't move. This isn't a current. This isn't something you can swim against. It's stronger than that. His breathing gets louder inside the helmet. Fast, heavy, controlled but slipping. He tries to signal, tries to pull back. Nothing works. Something unseen has him, and it's not letting go. Up on the surface, the team hasn't realized it yet. To them, it's just another routine dive. But down there, Luke is already trapped. And the worst part, he doesn't fully understand why. What could hold a trained diver in place like that? What kind of force makes escape impossible in seconds? To understand that, we have to go back. A few days earlier, July 1989, Annapolis Royal, Nova Scotia. Luke Seabrook arrives at the tidal station like he has done many times before. He's 39 years old, experienced, focused, calm under pressure. This isn't his first dangerous job. The Bay of Fundy nearby is known for its extreme tides, some of the strongest in the world. Every diver working here knows the risks. But this job, it doesn't seem different. A routine inspection of a sluice gate, standard procedure, nothing unusual. The system is in place to keep him safe. The gates are supposed to be fully closed, locked, secured. No water flow, no danger. Everything checked before he even enters the water. That's how it's supposed to work. And on that day, every indicator says it is safe. No alarms, no warnings, just another dive. But there's one problem. Something deep inside that system is already wrong, and no one knows it yet. And this is where things begin to change. A few days earlier, July 1989, Annapolis Royal Tidal Power Station. The station sits beside the powerful waters of the Bay of Fundy. Twice a day, the tide rises and falls with force few places on Earth can match. Millions of tons of water move in and out, relentless, predictable, but never weak. This is why the plant exists, to turn that movement into energy. And for the most part, it works. Luke Seabrook knows this environment well. He's worked in harsh conditions before. Cold water, low visibility, tight spaces. This is part of the job. He arrives with his team, focused but relaxed. There's no sense of urgency, no sign of danger. The task is simple on paper. Inspect a sluice gate, check for wear, damage, or blockage. Report back. It's routine maintenance, but even routine jobs here follow strict rules. Before any diver enters the water, the system must be secured. Gates must be fully closed. Water flow must be stopped. This is called a lockout. Without it, the force of moving water could be deadly. Everyone on the team understands that. The process is checked, then checked again. Control panels confirm the gate is shut. Sensors show everything is in position. From the surface, it looks safe. Luke listens carefully as the plan is reviewed. Each step is clear. Each role assigned. There's no confusion. He prepares his gear slowly. Helmet, suit, air supply, umbilical line. Everything is standard. Everything is working. Before the dive, there's always a moment. A quiet pause, where experience meets instinct. Luke has done this enough times to trust the process. And the process says, it's safe. But the truth is, this place is never completely safe. Because here, safety depends on something you cannot see. Pressure. And even the smallest mistake can turn that pressure into something unstoppable. But right now, no one sees the mistake. And that's what makes it dangerous. And this is where things start to slip. Inside the control room, everything looks normal. Lights are steady. Readings are clear. No alarms. The system shows the sluice gate is fully closed. That's the most important check. If the gate is shut, the water is sealed off. No flow, no pressure difference. Safe for a diver. That's what everyone trusts. The lockout procedure is designed to remove risk. It isolates the area, turns a dangerous system into a controlled space. But systems are only as good as their weakest point. And this time, something is wrong. Unknown to the crew, the gate isn't fully closed. It's stuck. Not wide open, not enough to be obvious, just a small gap, about 12 inches. From the surface, that gap means nothing. The sensors still read closed. The panel shows green. Everything says, proceed. But behind that small opening, the tide is still moving. Slow, heavy, constant. And that means pressure is building. A difference between two sides of the gate. It's invisible, silent, but incredibly powerful. Luke doesn't see any of this. He's focused on his checks. Airflow steady, communications clear, suit sealed. He speaks calmly with the surface team. Short, simple confirmations. Everything is routine. No tension. No concern. If something was wrong, this is where it should have been caught. But it wasn't, because nothing looked wrong. That's the danger. Not a loud failure. Not an explosion. Just a small, hidden mistake. One that no one notices. One that no one questions. And now, everything depends on that system being right. Luke moves into position, ready to enter the water. He trusts the checks. He trusts the readings. He trusts that the gate is closed. But it isn't. And below him, the pressure is already waiting. And this is where the line between safe and fatal disappears. Luke steps toward the edge. The water below is dark, cold, still on the surface. He lowers himself in slowly. The first contact is always sharp, cold pushing through the suit, a reminder of where he is. He steadies his breathing. Surface. I'm in. His voice comes through clean, calm, controlled. The team responds right away. Everything sounds normal. He begins his descent, down past the light, into water that grows darker with every meter. Visibility drops fast. Shapes fade. Edges blur. The world becomes tight and quiet. Only the sound of his breathing fills the helmet. In, out, steady. He moves carefully, following the line. Each movement is slow, deliberate. There's no rush. This is how it's done. He knows the structure ahead, the position of the gate, where he needs to go. But as he gets closer, something changes. It's subtle at first, a slight movement in the water. Not strong, just different. He pauses, feels it again. A faint pull. It doesn't feel like a normal current. Currents move around you. This feels focused, directed. He adjusts his position, tries to read it. But in low visibility, there's nothing to see, only feeling. He keeps moving forward, closer to the gate, closer to the source. The pull grows stronger, still not violent, but steady now. Constant. His body begins to lean into it. He tightens his grip, controls his movement. Something isn't right, but it's not enough to trigger alarm. Not yet, because everything above told him it was safe. And down here, he has to trust that. But the closer he gets, the stronger it becomes. And by the time he realizes what it really is, he's already too close. And this is the moment everything changes. It happens in an instant. 1 second, Luke is holding position. The next, he's pulled forward hard. No warning, no time to react. His body slams toward the gate. The source is right in front of him. A narrow opening, barely visible in the dark water, about 12 inches wide. It doesn't look dangerous, but behind that gap is the full weight of the tide. Water is forcing through it with massive pressure. This is delta P, differential pressure. And once it grabs you, there is no swimming away. Luke tries to push back. His arms strain. Legs kick hard. Nothing changes. He's pinned, completely stuck against the opening. The force is crushing. Not fast. Not violent in waves. Just constant, overwhelming pressure. Like being held by something stronger than anything human. His chest tightens. Breathing gets heavier. Faster now. Inside the helmet, every breath sounds louder. He reaches for the line, tries to pull himself free. It doesn't move him even an inch. The water isn't just pushing, it's holding him in place. Locked. His training kicks in. Stay calm. Control breathing. Signal the surface. But even that feels harder now. His body is pressed tight. He tries again. Push, pull, twist. Nothing works. The opening is small, but the force behind it is enormous. Thousands of pounds of pressure focused on one point. All of it. Holding him there. Time starts to feel different. Slower. Heavier. Each second stretches. His breathing is no longer steady. It's sharp now. Urgent. He knows something is wrong. Very wrong. But the real problem, he can't see a way out. Above the surface, they still think everything is fine. But down here, Luke Seabrook is trapped, and the force holding him is not letting go. And now, the fight begins. At first, nothing seems unusual. Luke's breathing is still coming through the line. Heavy, but there. Then it changes. Short bursts. Faster. The surface team notices it right away. Luke, status? No clear reply. Just breathing. Loud now. Uneven. Something is wrong. They call again. Still nothing. That's when the tension hits. One of the crew grabs the umbilical line. Feels the weight. It's not normal. Too tight. Too heavy. Like something is pulling from below. Start pulling him up. They begin together. Slow at first. Controlled. But the line doesn't move. Not even slightly. They pull harder. 2 men now. Then 3. Still nothing. It's like Luke is anchored to the bottom. Panic starts to build. This isn't equipment failure. This is something else. Luke, respond. Silence. Only the sound of air moving through the line. Fast. Strained. They pull again. Harder this time. The line goes tight, but it won't lift. The force below is stronger than all of them. They stop for a second, trying to think, trying to understand. Then someone says it. Pressure. It hits them all at once. If the gate isn't fully closed, if water is still moving, then Luke could be caught in it. Delta P, the one thing every diver fears. Because once it happens, you can't just pull someone free. The water locks them in place. The team looks back at the control panel. Everything still shows closed. No warning. No alarm. But now they don't trust it. They can't. Shut everything down. Orders come fast. Try to isolate the flow. Reduce the pressure. But it won't happen instantly. Water this powerful doesn't stop on command. It takes time. And time is exactly what Luke doesn't have. They pull again. Desperate now. The line strains under the force. But Luke doesn't move. Not even an inch. Below them, unseen, he is still pinned. And above, they are running out of options. And this is where the situation turns critical. Down below, nothing changes. The pressure holds steady. Luke is still pinned against the opening, locked in place by a force he cannot fight. His body is pressed hard against the structure. Every movement is restricted. Every breath feels tighter. Inside the helmet, the sound is overwhelming now. Air rushing in. Air being pulled out. Fast. Uneven. He tries to slow it down, but panic is starting to take over. His chest hurts. The pressure isn't just holding him, it's crushing him. Ribs under strain. Muscles pushed beyond limit. He tries again to move. Push with his arms. Kick with his legs. Nothing changes. Not even slightly. The force is absolute. Above him, the water continues to move. Silent, relentless. And all of it is focused on that small gap. His oxygen is still flowing. But breathing is no longer easy. Each inhale feels shorter. Each exhale sharper. His mind starts racing. Something is wrong. This isn't temporary. He knows the risk now. Delta P. The word alone is enough to trigger fear in any diver, because there are no second chances with it. He tries to signal again, hands moving as much as they can, but his body is locked, held in place like it's part of the structure. Time stretches. Minutes feel longer than they should. His strength is fading, slowly, quietly. Above the surface, they're trying everything, but none of it reaches him. Down here, he is alone with the pressure. The cold starts to creep in deeper. Energy drains faster now. Breathing becomes harder to control. Thoughts become scattered. Focus slipping. Survival instinct is still there, but the body can't respond. And that's the worst part. Knowing what's happening, but not being able to stop it. The system that was supposed to protect him has failed. And now, everything depends on something no one can control quickly. The pressure must equalize. Until then, he stays trapped. And every second that passes makes survival less likely. And this is where hope begins to fade. On the surface, time slows down. No one speaks for a moment. They're all watching the same thing. The line, still tight, still unmoving. They've shut down what they can, tried to isolate the system. But the water doesn't stop instantly. The Bay of Fundy keeps moving, tide still pushing, pressure still holding Luke in place. They know what this means. They have to wait. It's the only option left. Minute pass, each one heavier than the last. They keep checking the line, hoping for even the smallest change. Nothing. No movement. No signal from below. Only the sound of air running through the system. Then even that becomes uncertain. A rescue diver is prepared, standing by, ready. But they can't send him down yet, not while the pressure is still active. If they do, he could get trapped too. So they wait, watching gauges, watching time, hoping the pressure begins to drop. 30 minutes pass, then more. The tension is constant now. No one steps away. No one relaxes. Every second feels critical. Finally, something changes. The line shifts, just slightly. It's small, but it's enough. The pressure is easing. Slowly, carefully, they test the line again. There's still resistance, but not the same. Send the diver. The order is given. The rescue diver enters the water, moves down with caution, every movement controlled. The danger isn't gone, just reduced. Visibility is still low, the environment still hostile. He follows the line down, closer, closer, until the shape comes into view. Luke. But something is wrong, very wrong. He's not moving. His body is wedged into the opening, held there even now. The helmet pressed tightly into the gap. The position, unnatural. The diver moves closer, checks for any response. There is none, only stillness. The reality sets in quickly. This is no longer a rescue. It's a recovery. And what he sees next confirms it. And this is where the truth becomes impossible to ignore. The rescue diver doesn't rush. He can't. Even with the pressure reduced, the area is still dangerous. Any sudden change could make things worse. He moves carefully, slow, controlled motions. Luke's body is still wedged into the opening. The gap that looked so small from above is now clearly deadly. The diver reaches out, checks for any sign of life. There is none. No movement, no response. Only the steady motion of water around them. He begins the process of freeing him. It's not easy. Even now, the structure holds tight. The position, unnatural. When Luke is finally pulled free, the damage is clear. His ribs have been crushed under the pressure. His body shows the force he was held against. His helmet, forced hard into the opening. The official report will later confirm it. Cause of death, drowning. But the reason behind it, differential pressure, delta P, a force that doesn't look dangerous until it's too late. Back on the surface, silence takes over. No one speaks at first. They already know. They felt it in the line, saw it in the delay. But now it's real. A routine job that should have taken minutes has ended in loss. The investigation that follows reveals the truth. The gate was never fully closed. A small gap remained, about 12 inches. The sensors failed to detect it. The system showed safe when it wasn't, and that small error allowed the full force of the tide to pass through, creating a pressure difference strong enough to hold a man in place. Impossible to fight, impossible to escape. This case becomes one of the most referenced examples in diving safety, a reminder that danger underwater isn't always visible. Sometimes it's silent, hidden in systems that seem to work. Luke Seabrook was experienced, careful, trained for risk, but even that wasn't enough, because some forces don't give you time to react. They don't give warnings. They just take hold, and once they do, there's no second chance. What happened here changed how divers look at pressure, changed how systems are checked, because now they know. Even a small opening can become the ocean's deadliest trap, and that is the lesson written in water.